Let's pay homage to the Buddha, truly enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So today we will continue the last flood, or the fourth flood. Yesterday we have discussed about the second flood and the third flood, the flood of becoming, the flood of wrong views. As I have explained all of you, the first flood, the flood of sensuality. So all the beings in the world, they are swept away in the flood of sensuality and they sink in it. The second flood, the flood of becoming, it is attachment to Brahma life and attachment to absorption, jhana, concentration. It is sure for those who can't give up the sensuality temporarily or permanently to a certain period of time, they cannot practice jhana concentration. That it is impossible even to attain jhana. It is sure for those who can't give up the sensuality temporarily or permanently, it is impossible to practice absorption, jhana, concentration. As you all know, now you came here, you give up sensuality, short time, but your mind is thinking about sensuality. Sitting here, no. Okay, I'm happy, I'm glad to hear you are not thinking about sensuality. So, to be able to attain jhana, absorption, concentration is for those who can give up the sensuality for longer time. So like my disciple, Pa-Auk student, she went to Myanmar. I think she stayed there for 4 years, I think. She just practiced meditation there. Okay? So she gave up everything here. So you all should go too. It is hot, not as cold as here. It is not cold like here, but we must bear it. But if she can teach all of you here also, please practice here too. So our purpose of practicing absorption, jhana, concentration is not to sit away in the flood of becoming, just to practice vipassana. In our country, many years ago, one of the senior bhikkhu, he said to his disciples not to practice absorption, jhana, concentration, because his wish is to practice vipassana more. But according to the Buddha said, develop concentration. The one who is concentrated knows and sees things as they really are. Even that senior bhikkhu, well-known bhikkhu, wanted his disciple to practice vipassana because of not developing concentration, none of them penetrated the ultimate mentality and materiality. That's why you all need to know the purpose of developing concentration. It is not to sink in it, just to penetrate the Dharma as they really are. Buddha said, there is no man, there is no woman. There is only ultimate mentality and materiality. Without developing concentration, just sit down the whole life. You can ask yourself, can you see the ultimate mentality and materiality? Sure, you will know just this body only. So if you can't see, but you can't know the ultimate mentality and materiality, you must listen to the words of the Buddha. Developing concentration needs to train the mind that we don't want to do because it is difficult. Our Buddha, he enlightened as a Buddha, fulfilling the Dharma for incalculable and 100,000 eons. What? Is it easy to be a Buddha? Is it easy to penetrate the Four Noble Truths? Which is more easier, the education we got in this present life and the education given by the Buddha, which is more easier? To be a doctor, how many years do we need to attend the school and university? At least from primary school to university you must come 20 years. So here also some are doctor, some are PhD, professor. How many years have you learned to be a professor? So I remind all of you, to be a professor, to be a PhD doctor, we can learn within one life, but we don't need to use the whole life. We can spend 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. So if you count from the primary school, to be a Buddha within one life, is it okay? But everybody, they are heedless. If it is possible, within 7 days they want to enlighten. Is it a good idea? Okay, so that's why it is difficult, but worth practicing, worth training, taking time. When we study our school and university lessons, if our mind is not concentrated, how difficult to study our school and university lessons? Agree? Yes. The Dharma, so profound, so deep, without concentration, how can you penetrate? Many meditation masters, they dare say it is not necessary to develop concentration. Just practice. Sit down, see your body. They say against the Buddha. Buddha said develop concentration. The one who is concentrated knows and sees things as they really are, but they see yogi. Whom do you follow? Buddha or? Okay? You must follow, you must listen to Buddha. You don't need to listen Venerable Urevana. You know my name? My name is Urevana. You don't need to listen my name. You don't need to listen my instruction. You must listen to Buddha. So the third flood, the flood of wrong views, which is very dangerous and which make we fall to the fourfold states. We all fall to the fourfold states because of self-identity. Self-identity, you know? Self-identity is very dangerous. We wrongly understand this is mine, this is my son, this is my brother, this is my father. Because of this reason, our emotional feeling becomes stronger, that we are ready to do something which can make we fall to the fourfold states. Only when we attain path and fruition knowledge, at that time that first path and fruition knowledge destroy the self-identity without remainder. So now today I will continue the last flood. What is the last one? The flood of ignorance. Ignorance is not knowing what. We don't know. There are many things we don't know. There are many things we know too. But here, the flood of becoming is not any others. Not knowing the Four Noble Truths only. It is difficult to cross the flood of sensuality. It is difficult to cross the flood of becoming. It is difficult to cross the flood of wrong views. It is difficult to cross the flood of ignorance too. But if we can cross the flood of sensuality, we can proceed to the flood of becoming. But if you can't cross the flood of sensuality, you will be away to be with the flood of becoming. If you can't develop concentration, so you are not in the flood of becoming, and you cannot penetrate the Dharma as they really are, and you can't cross the flood of wrong views and the flood of ignorance too. So now the flood of ignorance, not knowing the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths, the suffering, the origin of suffering, the cessation of suffering, the way into the cessation of suffering. Do you remember what is suffering? Remember? What is suffering? Birth. So, jati dukkha. The Buddha said jati dukkha. Birth is also suffering.
And aging.
Aging is also suffering. Yes, it is also suffering. Death also suffering. Not getting what we want also suffering.
Between 4 and the 5th, between first 4 and the 5th, death, error, sorrow,
lamentation.
Lamentation.
Briefly, on what the gentleman has told, it is true, but the last part, Buddha said, briefly, 5 aggregates are suffering. So to be able to cross these all floods, the most important thing to penetrate is 5 aggregates. So 5 aggregates, what are they? Materiality aggregate, feeling aggregate, perception aggregate, volitional formation aggregate, and consciousness aggregate. So among 5, one is material aggregate and 4 are mental aggregate only. So we can say materiality and mentality, 2 of 5. So as I have told again and again all of you, Bhikkhu develop concentration, the one who is concentrated knows and sees things that they really are. So after giving this instruction, Buddha asked, what will you know and see if you develop concentration? After giving this instruction, develop concentration, the one who is concentrated knows and sees things that they really are. After this instruction, Buddha asked, what will you know and see if you develop concentration? Buddha answered, you will know, you will see the suffering, origin of suffering. the cessation of suffering and the way leading to cessation of suffering. So to know Four Noble Truths, what do we need to do? What do you need to do? And concentration. Okay? So you must understand this. So if we develop concentration and if we practice systematically, we will know, we will see ultimate mentality and materiality. How to discern mentality, how to discern ultimate materiality, I have explained partially yesterday. How to discern ultimate mentality, it is very deep and profound. According to the teaching of the Buddha, those who want to know the ultimate mentality, first they have thoroughly discerned ultimate materiality. Without having penetrated the ultimate materiality, no one can penetrate the ultimate mentality. But here, one thing you need to understand separately. For those who practice vipassana directly, without having discerned the ultimate materiality, they can't practice ultimate mentality. But those who practice vipassana, after developing absorption, jhana, concentration, before discerning ultimate materiality, if they start discerning mentality, they can do. So, for those who practice vipassana after developing concentration, because they develop absorption, jhana, concentration, that they can discern jhana, mental factors. Okay? So this is the way you need to understand separately. Okay? How do you understand mind arise in the brain or way? So now I want to ask you. So you all are modern people. Like which is more practical? Like which is more practical? Practical. Practical. If it is not practical, I don't believe. you say, you used to say. Because if it is not practical, you all don't want to believe. Where the mind arises, where does the mind arise? Brain or where? So translator Baba is telling me here, but do you agree? Scientists say it is in brain. Okay? Scientists. But Buddha says not here, in our heart. When you can penetrate the ultimate materiality, at that time we let the meditator check whether here or whether here. They can practically understand at that time. When you practice for elements, you will see here only small particles, you will not see mind. One thing to make all of you understand superficial way where mentality arises. When you feel angry, what happens in your heart? In your brain or in your heart? When you are very happy, where did you feel? Brain or heart? Yes, that's why not here. So, to know the mentality, we need first to know the ultimate materiality. Why? Humans, devas, animals, healthy, they have 5 aggregates. We can say beings with 5 aggregates. Beings with 5 aggregates, mentality can arise based on materiality. So mentality arises based on heart-based materiality. Heart-based materiality. So when you practice ultimate materiality, you must discern door by door, altogether 6 doors. One is my door. Door by door. Door. When you discern ultimate materiality, you must discern door by door, altogether 5 doors. In idol, altogether there are 54 types of rupa. Do you want to know what they are? Or something but those who not the head are more, that's why I have to say a little bit. So, now I am a man, you are a woman. Okay? So, because of sex, decade, rupa, we become man, we become woman. So it differentiates. Sex determines materiality. So in the eye door, there are 6 types of materiality. Eye sensitivity, eye sensitivity, body sensitivity, and sex determines materiality. Mind produces materiality. Temperature produces materiality. And nutriment produces materiality. Understand? So if you develop concentration, you will see these 6 types of rupa in your eye. We say, when we look at someone, we say we see. Who sees? You say we see. Actually, eye sensitivity sees only. In the ear door, there is ear sensitivity. We say we hear. No. Ear sensitivity, ear only. So to know the truth, you need to understand this all. Only then you know the ultimate materiality. So seeing consciousness, it is mind or materiality. Seeing consciousness. Hearing consciousness, mentality or materiality. Taste consciousness. So, based on eye sensitivity is materiality. Eye seeing consciousness arises. Without knowing eye sensitivity, how can you know seeing consciousness? Only when we penetrate eye sensitivity, we come to know that we are not seeing. Eye sensitivity are seeing. Wrong view can be removed slowly. So all the mentality except hearing consciousness and seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smelling consciousness, tasting consciousness, and touching consciousness. Except these 5, all other mentality arise based on mind or based on heart-based materiality. So because of this reason, before we practice ultimate mentality, we have thoroughly practiced ultimate materiality. Explaining about how to discern mentality, now day by day I explain a little bit. Otherwise you all will be sleepy. Okay? So now you know a little bit more than yesterday about mentality. How deep the teaching of the Buddha to remove the wrong view. Yes, it is deep, but for those who have developed concentration, it becomes okay for them to penetrate this Dharma. So when you know and see the ultimate mentality and materiality, you can say you know and see the first noble truth, the suffering. The suffering, when did the suffering start in our life? When and where? Yes, at the moment of not birth, at the pregnant time. The first stage in our mother womb. At that time, when you can practically practice the mentality, the materiality that started in our mother womb, you will see 5 aggregates there. When you can practically practice ultimate mentality, materiality, at the time we start our life in the mother womb, you will see only 5 aggregates. The Buddha said in the Mahasatikatthana Sutta, 5 aggregates are called suffering. So it started in our mother womb. Now we have 5 aggregates. This is also suffering, but this is not starting point. Starting point is in our mother womb. So after practicing, after knowing and seeing the first noble truth, so we instruct meditators to practice the second noble truth. After knowing and seeing the first noble truth, the suffering, we instruct meditators to discern the second noble truth. So we understand if there is the effect, there will be the causes. Cause and effect, which come first? So the suffering started in our mother womb. The causes of the origin of the suffering, where will it be? In this present life or in the past? Okay, in the past. Okay? So to know the suffering, we need to discern in this present life, starting from mother womb. But to know the second noble truth, the origin of suffering, we need to discern to the past. So without discerning to the past, how can we know the origin of suffering? Today I will let you know one of the meditators who have practiced his past life and what is his past causes. Now, some are men, some are women. Have you ever inquired why do we will be born as men and women? So all around us, we see men, we see women, we see dogs, we see chickens, we see birds. Why? Why are we born as humans and why are they born as animals? The cause is ignorance. So to make this more understandable, I will tell you about the practice of a meditator who penetrates the past causes responsible for the present result. She's the one who practices in our Pa-Auk meditation center in Myanmar. In this life, she is an educated woman who lives in a large city. When she directly discerns the causes of this present life, she saw an incident that occurred at the near-death moment of her past life. Here you all need to know whether very small insects such as fly, such as mosquito, or big animal, elephants, tiger, or humans, whoever, when they die at the near-death moment, an object appears in their mind. In our life, mostly what we do, is it wholesome or unwholesome? Which one? And wholesome, much more. That's why mostly at the near-death moment, an object that appears is mostly unwholesome. You and I, very fortunate. In the previous life, at the near-death moment, the object that appears is a wholesome object. Because of wholesome object, we are born as men, we are born as women. Now please listen. The object at the near-death moment that appears in our mind is wholesome being. She was offering food to a Buddhist monk. In that life, she was a very poor and educated village girl. Do you like an educated poor village woman? She felt upset and dissatisfied with her life condition. When she was making an offering to a monk, she saw little bit near distance very beautiful, educated city woman. What did she do? She made a wish. Because of offering, may I be reborn as a city, educated city woman. So, that karma that appears at the near-death moment is not a karma that she did at the near-death moment. Only appear at the near-death moment again. Maybe it is in her life at a certain time she had accumulated. Or maybe a karma that she had done in many past lives ago. So you should all understand the image or the object that appears at the near-death moment of this life or in the previous life is not the karma that we actually done in that life. Not only that karma, but also many other karma that we have accumulated in our many past lives too. So the image of offering food to the monk while wishing to be an educated city woman appear at the near-death moment of her previous life. It appeared as if she was reliving again. It appeared as if she was reliving, like she is doing newly. So, because of that object, that created the desired result in her present life. In this very life, she is an educated city woman. Here you all need to understand 5 causes. These 5 causes generate the present effect. So, according to the teaching of the Buddha, there is no city woman, there is no an educated woman, there is only mentality and materiality. Knowing and seeing mentality and materiality is right view. Understanding as an educated city woman is wrong view. Wrong understanding we call ignorance. So ignorance is wrong understanding of an educated city woman. According to my teaching experience, those who have penetrated ultimate mentality, materiality, cause and their efforts, because they are all the time seeing the rising and perishing of ultimate mentality and materiality. When they practice internally, also they see a rising and perishing of the ultimate mentality, materiality. When they practice through the external world, also they just see in the same way. Because of this reason, almost all those who penetrated it, they don't want to be reborn as a man, they don't want to be reborn as a woman, they don't want to be reborn as anything. They want to free from suffering, which is 5 aggregates. Don't you want to experience it? Don't you want to experience it? If you want to experience it, you need to develop concentration. So, now awaita. What is awaita? This is one cause. Because of not knowing the truth, which is ultimate mentality and materiality all the time arising and perishing. Because of not knowing this, we wrongly understand as man, woman, city girl, city woman, educated person, uneducated person. Because of not knowing the truth, when you go supermarket, you see television, oh, very good television, I should buy it and I should use in my home. So you wrongly understand it as television. You wrongly understand it as television. Because of not knowing the truth, we attach to it, right? Attachment arises because of not knowing the truth. Just being attached to something, you don't feel so much. Just being attached to something, you don't feel desire too much of it. You don't desire much of it. Just being attached to something, whether living things or non-living things, we don't feel so much to possess it. Just mere Christian, just being attached to something. For example, now you see, oh, this is attachment, but just attachment, being attached, not very strong. So you don't try to get it. Just being attached to something, you don't try to get it. But when you see again and again, people say, oh, this is very good, very good, very good. Because of hearing again and again, you cling very much. At that time, you cling to it that you want it. You try to get it. So because of ignorance, we crave. Because of ignorance and craving, clinging, follow. Only when we cling very much, we try to get it. So for this uneducated, poor village woman, she felt upset about her life. She was dissatisfied with her life. So whenever she sees an uneducated city woman, because of ignorance, she may attach to that life. She was dissatisfied with her life. She claimed very much to be an educated city woman now. So to be able to be reborn as an uneducated city woman, she tried to get it by offering fruit to the Buddhist monk. You see 4 causes: ignorance, craving, clinging, and wholesome karma that she accumulated. Whether unwholesome deeds that we have done, after finished doing, is left behind the force of karma. Do you understand it? Force of karma? So I make you understand more clearly. When you practice meditation, sometimes the thing that you have done 20 years ago appear in your mind again. It is because of the force that left behind after you've done that karma. Now many objects, wholesome and unwholesome objects appear when you are practicing meditation. Be careful. If they become your near-death moment object, where were you born? Okay, the object that appear at the near-death moment is like this. Are you happy with your life? Our life is so dangerous. Many dangers surrounded our life. I feel so wonder why you can be happy with such life. Better to renounce the world. Better to renounce the world. Agree? Okay, however, I'm very happy with all of you because I can give such the Dharma to all make you understand the life, the condition of life. Even you can't renounce the war now. If you wish to renounce the war, I'm very happy. Like city, village, uneducated girl, one day it will give result. Like an educated village woman, she make a wish to be an educated city girl. So, wishing to be something deeply appear in our mind. This is very important for our life. Any question?
According to your Dhamma talk, samsara, circle of life, is very essence of Buddhism.
Yes.
And in Pa-Auk Center, meditators can experience past life, connection between past life and this present life. But it is, that thing is accepted as truth. It has to be universal, even to other religious background people. How do you confirm that connection is true or universal or right?
That's why to know the truth, we need to penetrate infinite mentality and materiality first. Only then you can check by yourself. But we guide them how to check them. I will make more understandable. Now everybody sitting here. Individual mind. What is happening in everybody's mind? What is happening in my mind? You know? So now many sitting here. Do you know what is happening in my mind? Nobody? You. Exactly. What is happening in the professor's mind? I don't know. But you know again. Okay? You know your mind now. Right? So in the same way, when meditators practice future and past, in the past and in this present life, even it is timely difference, past life and present. But these two are connection. These two do have connection. If he or she listens to the past, she must listen to the mind, to the heart. Mind or thought. What is happening in that person's mind? If she felt sorry, that person feels sorry too. If she felt happy, that person feels happy too. Somebody said that at the near the moment, they feel very, very unhappy, very sad. Oh, in this present life, in heart, in his mind also feeling very unhappy. Sometimes meditators, when they listen to the past, they see maybe 3 people at the near the moment. So this one, this one, this one. Which one is my 5 aggregate? So that meditator needs to listen one by one. And then if it is not the one related to him or her, she could not be anything about her mind. Understand? Because of this reason, I give an example. You can't know my mind, but I can't know your mind. But you know your mind, I know my mind. In the same way, in the past, if it is sure, you see the connection between. I want to make you laugh. One of the meditators, she is Western Irish lady. When she listened to past life, one of her past life was a monkey. She doesn't understand. Since she was young in this very life. Even she is a woman. She likes climbing the tree. So she doesn't understand why I have this habit. I like very much climbing the tree. Only when she could practice on past life. One day, now I understand why I have this character. Not only she liked climbing, but also whenever she saw a monkey picture, she liked very much. That's our past character influence our life. Okay? You want to know? Then you must practice. You cannot ask Bhikkhu. Bhikkhu cannot answer. According to Bhikkhu's truth. It is okay. Now, there are some foreigners in Pa-Auk practicing as a layman, as a laywoman. One of the Korean laywomen also now practicing very diligently. She could enter jhana concentration. She could already listen up inner parts, 32 parts of the body, and liver, stomach, kidney, everything she has penetrated. So she came from this center. She went there from this center. After purely student guidance, she improved, and then she wanted to continue. That she went there now. She was there. In the same way, if you can renounce 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, good. 1 month, 10 days, it is not good. One of my disciples from Taiwan, she came Pa-Auk as a laywoman. After 1 year later, she penetrated Dharma. Her mind changes. She ordained as a nun. Now she spent her life as a nun. This is a great change, a good change. What change? What change? What is change? What? The real mind is what? Wishing to attain Nibbana, wishing to make an end of suffering. If you do volunteer work, if you do offering, if you observe sila, or if you practice meditation, everything will be for the realization of Nibbana. But offering compared to concentration is more stronger. For example, offering and sila, offering dana, practicing morality, sila, practicing meditation. So step by step, more higher. There are 2 types of practice we need to do to fulfill the parami, to make an end of suffering. It is knowledge and contact. Knowledge and contact. In Pali we call Vijja and Charana. Vijja and Charana. Vijja means knowledge. Charana means contact. Whoever wants to make an end of suffering, they need to practice these 2 practices. Only when these 2 become strong, we are ready to make an end of suffering. What is the practice of conduct? Offering. Practicing morality, and practicing concentration. These 3 practices are called the practice of conduct. So practicing vipassana, it is a practice of knowledge. If anybody who has practiced the practice of conduct, it takes its responsibility. Whoever practices the practice of conduct, offering, practicing morality, practicing concentration, because of practicing these practice take their responsibility. You know your responsibility? We must know our responsibility, but sometimes we don't know our responsibility. But the practice of conduct is never fail to take its responsibility. Irish lady, what I have told you, Taiwanese lady, they were born where there is no true teaching. For example, Irish lady, she was born in a Christian family. She don't know about the Dharma. We humans are intelligent. We humans have rational mind. We know what is right, what is wrong. So when she, Irish lady, grown up, she studied Buddhism, so she gave up the Christians. So in her mind, it appears she wants to renounce the world. She doesn't understand why. But only when she could practice her past life, she proposed me one day. Why I want to be nuns, why I want to practice meditation, why I want to make an effort of something, now I knew where. So previous past life, she was a Buddhist. She offered every day food to many monks. What practice it is? The conduct. So she take precepts too. She took precepts. Sila morality. She practiced morality. In this life, even she was Western lady. Whenever she saw bhikkhus, that she respect very much. Respectful mind easily arises in her mind. Before she didn't understand why. When she could listen to her past, she came to understand what is the reason why. So, in another past life, she had practice, she had demonstrated emptiness, mentality, and materiality. This is the practice of knowledge. The practice of conduct takes its responsibility. It makes that person to go somewhere there is true teaching. The practice of conduct, it takes its responsibility. The person who has practiced it, that karma makes him or her go somewhere there is true teaching. That's why now I think all of you have practiced the conduct of the practice of conduct before. Because of this reason, we see again memory.
Memory. You said in previous her life she was a Buddhist. In this present life, even though she was a Christian, she had the mind to respect monk. It means to me past memory associated with the past life transfer come to this present life.
We
possible? Yeah.
We cannot say transfer. We can say that it influences. Past habit influence our present life.
Through what? How?
For example,
definite memory or
not definite. As a karma.
Tell more specifically.
For example, someone who is very greedy in his past life, this life also, he has that temperament. We can say temperament only. I have prepared one of the mantra talking about the temperament. Conceit temperament. Someone who is very proud of himself or herself in the life, in our past life. That nature, that character, that temperament, follow, influence. She or he becomes someone who has this nation. We can generally understand by talking one another, communicating one another, associating one another longer time. Oh, what is his temperament in the past? By practicing one door, not enough. We must do for every door, not internally but also externally, past, present, future. All doors, internally, externally, past, present, future, we need to practice. So the last question. Ask the last question.
Okay. In Buddhism, what is the role of brain?
Brain.
Yeah, brain. What is the function or role of brain?
There is nothing mentioned about the brain, but it just says, Buddha said it is materiality.
So, heart, you mentioned the mentality based on heart.
Yes.
Heart is connected with the brain?
No, not completely. According to the Buddha Abhidhamma, Buddha just said this as a materiality only. You will see 44 types of materiality. There is no connection between.
But in modern science, brain is the storage of memory, and the brain functions when we fear, anger, or something. Brain is, in a sense, a huge computer by which we function.
According to the Buddha's teaching, we memorize, we remember because of perception aggregation. Perception mark, it stimulates again. Okay? So it is in our heart. Yes?
Is brain function part of the perception biology?
Brain doesn't function like this. Perception just mind. Okay? Our heart based on heart-based materiality, all the mentality arises. One among them is perception. Perception, remember. Perception make, we remember something, not the brain. That's all today. You must fulfill the conduct of the practice of conduct and the practice of knowledge. I tell you. I'm telling you, you must fulfill the practice of conduct and the practice of knowledge.